Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. I'm going to talk to you a few things today. But first of all, hello, how are we all? Isn't it nice the summer came along for 10 minutes yesterday, and of course during that 10 minutes I managed to get my head like a tomato once again. So let's get back to reality and what is going on. I've just had a little look here from some of the news things I get, and it's turned out, listen to this, you couldn't make this up, it's ridiculous. Here we go. Pro-Palestinian groups, Palestinian Action, has smashed up 20 Barclays banks and covered them in red paint. What? What's Barclays Bank done wrong? They probably refused to cash the checks for the terrorism team or anyway. Let's just talk about the BBC again, or as we know it, bring back racism. Yes, listen to this. Black, Asian and ethnic minorities, right, God love them, are 2.5 times more likely to get on the BBC's journalist training scheme than white people. Okay? Now, these figures have been released from, you get that Freedom of Information request. Well, come on, it's a fucking disgrace. It's racism, prejudice, pure and simple. But why is it somehow okay if it's against white people? It's a joke. These figures also show women have more of a chance of getting on than men. So basically, if you're a white man, you're fucked. No, I'm sick of this. It's ridiculous. It needs to be called out for what it is, racism. Why don't people get it? That when people do this and get a non-level playing field, all it does is fuel the bigots. And as I've been accused, I am king of the bigots, although probably more right to say prince or whatever. Talking of princes, the other evening when I fell over, the Prince of Bahrain watched me, looked at me as if I was a complete tit. And of course I was a complete tit because I wasn't that pissed when I fell over. It's just I tripped over and everyone was convinced that I was as pissed as a fart. However, last night, no, the night before last, I took my mate Phil to the Hut. There's a place called the Hut in the Isle of Wight, and it's just fantastic. It's like being abroad, and it's great fun, great food, and great drink. It's a lunchtime thing that tends to go on a bit, and you end up dancing on the tables or underneath the tables and God knows what, and it was absolutely brilliant. But no, that wasn't enough for us, so we then go back to the boat, and I decided that I'd become the world's best opera singer and dad dancer together. If the film ever gets out, I'll never be able to show my face again. And you wake up in the morning going, oh God, I didn't do that. Yes, you did. So what I get up to do is to think that there's other people madder than me throughout the world. Let's have a look at Europe, right? Remember Europe? We used to be in it before Nigel Farage took us out. Now, they keep saying, this is what the press say, Europe lurches to the right. Lurches to the right. What's right mean? Common sense? Or if you stick up for yourself, if you're a white old person like me, I'm obviously the far right extremist. I'm like, fuck. And the papers are saying, shock results. How is it a shock? In the EU parliamentary elections, right? They say it's a shock because there was a surge of votes for the far right parties. How the fuck has this come to a shock to politicians? You ignore your voters for years, calling them racists and bigots for wanting controls of their own borders. Why is it you governments don't really do anything what the people have asked for? And funny enough, us public will give our votes to someone else. Look what's going to go on now here in this country. I think it's going to be a whitewash. I think the Conservatives have shot themselves in the foot. Having said that, I hope that everybody looks at their candidate and says, who's the best one for my constituency? Who is the best one to look after my interests? That's the way to do it. Let's have a look at France. Little President Macron. Now, he's called a snap election early after Marine Le Pen, yeah, she needs a little moustache. She's destroyed them. She's destroyed Macron, the funny person's election campaign. Right, so she is totally fucked up in the EU election. She hasn't. She's fucked everyone else up. The German Chancellor is facing demands for an early election, and the Belgian Prime Minister has resigned. Oh, fucking hell is going on. So does this not prove that unless you politicians do something for what the majority of the people who voted for you want you to do, then you're fucked? The Conservatives are losing tons of their votes to Reform because everyone has just about had enough. And the sick thing is, Reform won't get enough votes to get anyone in. I hope Nigel gets a seat, and I hope my mate Lee, how's your father, keeps his seat. You know, I'd be interested to see what's happened. I'd like to be able to say that Reform are talking to the Conservative Party in a way of rejigging the Conservative Party and kicking them up the arse, seeing as they shot themselves in the foot when they got rid of Boris. Anyway, I want to thank you all for joining up to Ustream in your droves. Sign up to ustream.com. Every penny that we get will be used to make more programmes and more things. Little things like this, little live things to keep it going. Tomorrow we shoot a thing called Ladies Who Lunch. And so I've always wanted to do a chat show with real people, a panel show with real people, not show busy people, real people. So that's what we're doing tomorrow, and I'm going to get them all pissed as well. And so it's going to be like loose women on speed. But thank you all. Join up now. Please, please help us help you. Go to ustream.com. Hello everybody, Davidson here, and I'm here to tell you of an exciting, wonderful thing. You can have a 7-day free trial to get all of the Ustream package, if you pardon the expression. Yes, you can grab my package for 7 days for no money, and then $3.99 plus VAT per month thereon afterwards. So go to ustream.com, sign up and get your free 7-day trial. You will love it. Your knickers will dry out later.